Does your PlayStation sound like it's about to take off? When you're playing your PlayStation and your game starts going to a loading screen or a part of the gaming sequence that requires a little bit more work from your PlayStation, does it sound like the neighbor down the street starting a lawnmower ready to cut the grass? If so, then I'm going to show you how to clean your PlayStation so you can alleviate that loud rumble noise so it doesn't sound like your PlayStation came from American Airlines. So stick around. What is up, everybody? SpeedDemon8706 here, and I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how to clean your PlayStation 4 if it needs a cleaning or if it's really loud. Chances are, if it's really loud, it's causing the PlayStation to work harder and the fan to work harder, and so that's why it's a lot louder. So the video I'm going to cover is the 1215 series PlayStation 4. So it's very similar to the first generation, but there are a few small differences that really impact the teardown of the system. So as we get into this disassembly to clean it, I'm going to show you what those are. Most notably is how to take off the bottom cover, but for the most part it's relatively the same, and especially cleaning. The cleaning part itself is not hard. You don't have to be tech savvy. You're not going to be disconnecting any wires or anything like that. You just need to have a Torx attachment, a Phillips, and I'll explain the tools whenever we start this disassembly. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Alright, so for this I have a Swiffer brush, a toolkit, an X-Acto knife, a toothbrush, some canned air, and my PlayStation 4. So this is actually my PlayStation 4, and it looks like it hasn't been touched for a long time. It actually hasn't. I've had this for about 7 years, and it's accumulated quite a bit of dust. I know somebody's going to report me for console neglect, but nonetheless I'm trying to make it right today by giving this thing a solid cleaning, because it definitely needs it. Alright, so what you're going to do first is you're going to slide the top cover off. It simply just slides over and it pops right off. So taking a first glance at this, it's disgusting. A lot of dust. And this is where our hard drive is, and as you can see, years and years of caked on dust. I apologize for making you guys sit through this and look at this disgusting console, because I know there's plenty of you out there that are cringing right now. So what I did is I just went ahead and grabbed my Swiffer brush and I just gave it a good wipe down to at least start grabbing some of the bigger chunks. I know this was going to be a mess from the beginning, but nonetheless, damage control. So use a toothbrush for the hard to reach spots, like all those little slits in there, and those hard to reach spots like the USB ports. But what's really cool is the canned air comes in pretty handy, so you'll find that these tools are a lifesaver, and you'll also find that you have a lot of dirt in places that you never even imagined. So just give your PS4 a good dusting with the canned air and get those really hard to reach spots. Alright, and then looking at the back, you can see already how bad this is. It looks like a sandblaster kit. And so when you do this, just do the same things I'm doing. It don't have to be in the same order, but relatively you still want to use canned air to break apart that loose stuff. You want to grab your Swiffer brush or even a microfiber towel or even just some random washcloth or an old t-shirt just to wipe things down, and then just blow away any residual debris. And now it looks good. 10 times better than what it was before. Alright, so right here there's this big screw that we're going to take out, and that gives us access to our hard drive. So simply remove that screw and the hard drive pops right out. Go ahead and give it a once over. Everything looks good, everything should look good, but like everything, we're going to dust this thing and knock all of any residual dust that's in there out of there. Alright, and then blow some dust inside of the hard drive bay to do the same thing, knock anything loose. And back here there's two stickers. So what we're going to do is remove these Torx screws. I've already taken one sticker off, and you're going to need a Torx 9 attachment. So simply just grab that attachment and unscrew that, and on the top here there's going to be two screws, one in the center and there's going to be one at the bottom. Once those are removed, simply pop the top case off, lifting from the front and working your way towards the back and basically unhooking it. And yep, same thing. On the inside, it's just as dirty. Same thing on the inside, caked with years of dust. So, grab the Swiffer and wipe it down, and naturally use some canned air to knock this stuff loose. And give the same treatment to the top cover as you did on that small cover for the left side, and use a toothbrush to knock anything else away. And then one thing about this, with this much dust and this much dirt, not only does your PS4 run loud, but you also run the risk of having it overheat and damage your system permanently. Alright, so take off that last screw, and this right here is a spudger. So the spudger is going to be used to separate the bottom case from the rest of the system. So it's really hard to do, and you're going to need to use some pressure, and this is the part that differentiates this model from the previous models or most models on YouTube. So this seam right here is where you want to try to fit that spudger in, and basically you're just going to pry. Alright, snap it in and then just force it right down into the nub, or whatever you have. Guitar picks are good to use too. However, they may snap, and now you have a guitar pick rattling around inside of your PS4 if you can't get this undone. Alright, notice the top of the lip has risen slightly above the cover. So you just want to gently work your way along, but at the same time use enough force. You're not going to break anything, it's just held in by a bunch of clips, and it's fine. Now, what I like to do here is simply take something and slide it inside one of those holes in the back of the case to keep it from re-shutting and re-clamping. Because during shooting, I actually had it closed and I had to redo this. So go to the other side and simply do the same thing. Just pry it all apart until it snaps open. Then lay it down, and the bottom cover should come off just fine. Alright, go ahead and lift the cover off, and then you can see the PlayStation and you can see all of the dust inside. And this is about as bad as it gets. Like caked on dust, like there's clumps of dust, along with just what looks like a spray of dust. And again, that's taking years to accumulate. So give the cover the same treatment as you've given the other ones. Wipe it down, scrub with a toothbrush, use some canned air, whatever else you feel like you need to do to really get that stuff taken off. Now go ahead and take your Swiffer brush and just run it along on the inside to once again grab any of the stray clumps or any of the big stuff to help assist in your cleaning. Alright, so now we're going to focus on this power bay. So there's 2 Phillips with that metal bracket and 3 Torx head screws. So the one on the left for the Torx, one on the right, and one in the middle. Take those out and set those to the side. Now all that's left are the Phillips screws for this bracket. So these Phillips screws are pretty long. You don't have to worry about them popping out. So you unscrew them and then they stay inside the bracket, and you simply just lift the bracket out. I like to keep the screws with the bracket. Right here you have the power supply with a cable. I didn't pull out the wire, and you don't have to do so either. In fact, all you have to do is just on the left side grab on the upper portion, and on the right side grab along the side and shimmy it up and try to lift it out straight way, so that way you don't do any damage to the prongs that mount to the system. And so right here I actually lay the power bank on top of the PS4 itself and grab a Swiffer and get more on the internals like everything else. And I wipe down the power bank as well. You want to get dust from everywhere. And of course grab your canned air and show it some TLC to knock any of that stuff loose. Now these slots, you want to really focus on those because that's a high point of accumulation for dust, and that's where a lot of the heat generates. Look at all these components inside here. You don't want to get those caked up with dust, and that can potentially cause your system to fail. Now here for the fan, you want to be careful with it, and I've read and seen mixed things online about spinning the fan. I like to control the movement. I don't like to keep it stopped completely because I want to make sure I get everything, but I don't want to destroy my fan by having a lot of air just force it. Now with this power bank, when you place it back inside, place it down in the same way, completely vertical, and it should snap into place. We're good. Now take the bracket, place it back down, and place those long Phillips screws back in, screw them back into place. Take those 3 Torx screws, one in the bottom center, one in the top left, and one in the top right, with that Torx 9 head attachment, and screw them back in. Now place on your bottom cover, hook it in from the front opposite from the power bank, and simply just snap it down into place. Alright, now you're going to take your hard drive and place it back inside of the console, and once that's done, you're going to grab that little screw and place it back inside. Now we're going to place the top cover on the right side, and you're going to place it in from straight away from the back and clamping down, leading towards the front. It's a little stiff, but it'll go on just fine. Once that's done, take those two Torx head screws and replace them, one in the center and one at the front. And finally, take that left cover and simply just slide it back into place the same way you removed it when we started this disassembly. All that should be left is that slit in the center for that clear piece of plastic that the light shines through. Now on the back, we're going to go ahead and replace those two Torx head screws on the top and on the bottom. Once that's done, go ahead and take those stickers, if you feel so inclined to do so, and place them back on. And that should be it. Everything's cleaned, reassembled, looks good. Our PlayStation is clean.
And that is it. That's all you need to do to clean your PS4. So hopefully this serves as a guide for you to clean. Can't talk today. Alright. Hopefully this serves as a guide for you to clean your 1215 series PlayStation 4. And there's other tutorials out there that can show you how to clean other variations such as the Pro, the Slim, and the very first gen. However, there's not very many videos on the 1215. I followed a disassembly tutorial from a YouTube channel called TronicsFix. So TronicsFix has his own company. I don't know if it's his own company or whatever the case, but he is certified. This guy is certified to do repairs, and he posts videos on his channel all the time for Switches, Xbox, PS4s, fixing them. And he even has videos addressing issues with systems. Like in this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 problems we see in PS4 issues. So he's certified, he knows what he's talking about. I'll link his video that I followed for the disassembly below, but I highly encourage you to go check it out if you're trying to just get some knowledge for the brain out there. Other than that, that's all I got. I'm SpeedDemon706. Have a great day.